Maneva na sema PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there osia dem yopo.
We have to hear from Kwesi Pratt. Comrade.
Well, to start with, what is happening is not a natural disaster. What is happening is an indication of the extent to which our public officials are grossly incompetent and actually do not care about anybody apart from the perks of their office. We have a meteorological services department or authority or whatever it is called, whose prime responsibility is to forecast the weather. Whether the dam is going to get filled or not and so on, it's a function of the prediction of the weather. What did they do? You have the Volta River Authority, which every moment is measuring the water level in the dam. When did they realize that we needed to spill water? And at what rate and so on? And this is so simple. I haven't gone to engineering school. I'm not an architect. I don't predict weather. So, but if you go to Akosombo, the markings are there. You can see it just by looking. You don't need any special training to see the level, the water level in the dam. And yet, people with very high qualifications in the Volta River Authority could not see the water level and could not determine that it posed a danger to the nation and people living downstream. Unbelievable! I mean, incredible. We have planners in this special planners in our country who plan how to build our habitats and so on. And we have a regime, a legal regime, who says that you can't just wake up in the morning and build anywhere. You need to go through process of acquiring permit. They also went to sleep. They completely forgot about their jobs and they went to sleep. They slept soundly. Some of them were even snoring. Unbelievable. We have a whole ministry of what? Energy. Whole ministry of energy. With all the aspects. What were they doing? They were sleeping. I mean, incredible. And then we have NADMO. What did he do? He also went to sleep. Is anybody telling us that we decided to spill this water without first and foremost stimulating the consequences? Checking out what would happen if we spill this amount of water. Is anybody telling us that the minister was not briefed before the spillage? And if the minister was briefed, what questions did he ask? What arrangements did he make to avoid this disaster? Unbelievable. Then yesterday, the man who surrenders everything in prayers did not continue surrounding the disaster to prayers. He went there to do what? Kenny Forasa jumped into a car and went there to do what? What was the purpose of his visit there? Sympathy visit? To assess the damage? Does he have the capacity to assess the damage? To evaluate what the people need? Does he have the capacity? And so, look, we should stop these jokes. Because the disasters are painful enough. But when our elected officials and high office holders reduce it to a joke, it's like rubbing salt into our injury. You know, Kwame Nkrumah entertained, Kwame Nkrumah circle, so For many years, decades, we will sit down and allow the place to flood. And then when the place gets flooded, it becomes what they call a photo opportunity for politicians. All of them wear Wellington boots and they go and stand in the rain and take photographs. Then the next day, it splash on our front pages. For decades, that's how politicians were behaving in this country. One of them even went to the extreme. The Rollins and Co, they will put a canoe on top of the flooding, and you'll be rolling the canoe to score points. We are fed up with these clueless politicians. We are fed up with them. They insult us on a daily basis. You understand? They insult us all the time. And the funny thing is that they think that they are being smart. When they take advantage of these disasters which lead to killing, to all kinds of things and so on, in order to boost their electoral chances, they insult us. Because they're telling us that we are yo-yos. You understand? And I feel very, very disgusted about what has happened. Completely avoidable. Look, when the dam was built, we knew that going into the future, these things could happen. Various measures were taken. One of the various measures we were taking was simply the relocation of those who are likely to be affected in the future, immediate future. Can you believe that even the compensation for those victims, they didn't get the compensation. Politicians went and collected the monies and chopped. Can you believe that? I did a story for one of these international news agencies about one settlement. And I was there for 3 days, just doing background checks and so on. And said, amazing. They have no school, no health facilities, and they don't enjoy electricity. The people who suffered to create the electricity did not have electricity. Can you believe it? I mean, how callous can our leaders be? I can't believe this. You have the Volta River coming all the way from Burkina Faso and slowly coming out, passing through Akosombo Dam and emptying into the sea at Addo. The potential of the Volta River for the production of fish in any country where the leaders think, in any country where the leaders solve problems and so on, the Volta River alone should be able to provide our fish needs. And yet we are importing fish. Now, what's amazing is that the potential we have is not just the Volta River. There are so many other rivers. But in addition to all the other rivers that we are also sitting on the beach of the Atlantic Ocean. And we are importing fish. These are the leaders we have. Next year will be election year. You will hear the promises which will be thrown at us. The last time it was one district or one constituency, $1 million. And they're not ashamed, they even quote it in dollars. When they know that it's against the law. Master 2024, they'll be telling us one village, one aeroplane. When they're making the promises, they don't even care whether the promises make sense or not. They just open their mouth, wow, then they spill garbage. Look at what we're suffering. When did the Volta River Authority come to the conclusion that they needed to spill water? And when they came to the conclusion that they needed to spill water, what did they do in order to avoid the kind of situation we have today? Look, today, and it pains me that we are talking about water. Go to any of the so-called upmarket supermarkets in Accra, Kumasi, Tamale, and so on. We are importing water. We are importing water. In fact, the so-called elite, now when they organize their birthday parties and their weddings and so on, they don't use Ghana water. Master, water distilled in Ghana is not used. Special ice. No. They buy specially imported water. That's how backward and useless our elite have become. Even water, they won't buy Ghana water. So the importation of water has already begun. And then look at the amount of water which is being wasted from this village. That is even wrong. It's not just being wasted. The amount of water which has been weaponized to kill and maim. That is the kind of politics we are playing in this country. That's the kind of political leadership we have in this country. It's amazing. And some of my colleagues have already spoken about it. I mean, the most amazing thing, that I heard in all of this confusion is the claim about who votes for who. When people are dying, when houses have been submerged, when people have no food to eat, they have nowhere to sleep, and so on. Our big men, the people that we actually voted for, they can't stand there looking at us, but you cry, didn't vote for me, why should I do anything for you? As if they are doing us a favor. You see, fellow countrymen, in a year and a few months, we'll be going to vote again. When you take your ballot paper and you are marking it and you are placing it into the box, don't forget that you are selling your destiny for 4 years. You are giving your destiny to somebody for 4 years. If you give that destiny, place that destiny into the hands of an idiot, you will suffer. If you place that destiny into the hands of a crook, you will suffer. If you place that destiny into the hands of a dishonest person, you will suffer. So next time we go to vote, let's think twice before we select those we are going to vote for. Hey, if you are not sure about the person or the party and so on, don't vote. It is not a crime not to vote. So vote for only parties and candidates that you know will listen to you in moments of crisis. Vote for parties and candidates who will do something about the concrete problems which confront us today. I'll vote on the basis of ethnicity. November 4 is just around the corner. When I hear some of the campaign messages, I feel like puking. Oh, he's from the north. And so what? He's from the north, and so what? My brother. And I'm making direct reference to Alhaji Dr. Timothy Mahmoud Bawumia. He's from the north, so what? When did he realize that the north deserves the presidency? That's assuming that even ethnic and regional politics is allowable. When did he realize that? He was so busily campaigning to remove a Northerner from office as president. And that I didn't know that it was important for Northerners to hold on to the presidency and so on. When did he realize that? And yet it has become part of the campaign. It's from the north. And so what? But that is how we have run our politics. The other time I was talking about some politician, and everywhere he went, he had reason to be considered as part of that community. One politician, he went to Tamale. Oh, his ancestors were Dagumbas, so he's also a Dagumba. Hey. He went to Kumasi, he became an Ashanti instantly. He went to Central Region, he became a Fanti instantly, and so on. He went to visit Chief Imam. Oh, he's a Muslim. He went to a church. Then he remembered that way back, He used to be a member of Boys Brigade. Master, what is this? Look, Muslims, Christians, Jews, what? All of them. Tigari, Akuneji, all of them. If they don't get potable water to drink, they will die. So there's something which is common to all the religions. Access to potable water. That's what we need. You understand? That's what we need. All of us. Whether we are Gans, Frafras, Dagombas, or Fantis, or whatever, when we fall sick, we expect to be treated, to be nurtured back to regular life. So healthcare is a common thing for all of our tribes and so on. Look, the Accra, where? Accra is our road. Is it only one tribe that uses that road? So all of us are prone to accidents because of bad roads. So I'm a Fanti, so what? I'm a Gan, so what? The road is bad. It will kill an Ede, it will kill a Frafra, it will kill a Dagomba, it will kill all of us. Repair the road and stop telling me that you are Northerner, you are Southerner, you are Easterner, you are Kominini and Kominini. What has that got to do with us? Look at what is happening from the Spillage in Akosombo down. Yes, many of the people come from Mepe, they come from all those areas and so on. But tell me that those who are suffering, they don't come from all the tribes of Ghana. Tell me that those who are suffering do not have all of the religious faiths that we have in the country. And so on. So it is sickening. It is so very sickening. And then, you know, there are two presidents in the world who appear to be strengthening all the what do they call it, stereotypes about old age. And I feel very sad. You know why I feel very sad? Because I'm no longer a young man, I'm also getting closer to their ages. And these people are determined to make old age a horrible thing. And I speak about Joe Biden and our own president, His Excellency Nana Addo Akufo-Addo. The way they talk just reinforces all these stereotypes. I believe firmly, not that I believe, it's a fact. There are very stupid young men in the world. Very extremely stupid young men in the world. And there are equally extremely stupid old men in the world. You understand? So for me, age is not the factor. You could have very young men who are brilliant, who have a commitment to serve their country and so on. And you could have old men who can do the same. But you see, what is before us is Joe Biden and the one we have in Ghana. Oh my goodness, old age suffers. What is this? The whole president goes to the president saying, if it was because of who voted for me, I wouldn't be here. What? President? Not president of one of the countries that I know, like Central African Republic or something. President of Ghana. The man who steps into the shoes of Osatufo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, that's all he can tell us. My goodness. And then, now, we have turned the place into some kind of a circus. Every politician is carrying mattresses and... Hey, what is this? They're all carrying mattresses and what? And bags of rice and so on. What does that do to the people there? What does that... All of them, look at them. And then the press, we are so busy following them with our cameras. When they cough, we record. When they do other things too, we record. other things that I cannot mention on the show. Competition. Who is carrying more mattresses than the other? They carrying mattresses on articulators and so on. For what? Is that the solution? Oh, master. They make running a country so cheap. So very cheap. All you have to do is to sit down, sleep. When you wake up and there's a disaster.
You carry mattress.
For those who keep monies in their houses, you look under the bed. Carry a few CDs, buy a few mattresses and carry them. And make sure that you are captured by the media. And go and give it to the people. They spend 3 hours there, they go back home. The people don't even have a place to put the mattress they sent. The mattress they sent, you don't have a place to go and put it. So it becomes an extra bed. If you are carrying a mattress, you don't know where to put it. What a joke. Master. I think we've got to start thinking. What do we do with that massive body of water? How do we do all the things that we can do with that water and still not fall into disasters? And it is not beyond us. You have a whole university for science and technology. Whole university, science and technology. Huh? You are training biochemists on a daily basis. You are training architects. You are training engineers and so on. What are you doing with them? You see? Sana, do you know something that happens in this country? You send somebody to school. He's educated, becomes a holder of a doctorate degree in architecture. Anytime he's going to work, he goes and consults a prophet who dropped out of school to tell him what to do so that God doesn't curse him. His whole knowledge in architecture is surrounded to a school dropout who pretends to understand the Bible. That's where we are. I was talking to a medical officer the other day. And I said to myself, hey, no matter what disease I get, no matter what pain I feel, I would never go to this medical officer. He's a medical officer, he's gone to school, he did medicine for 7 years, he's done other specialist courses and so on. And he says that the power of healing is in the hands of Jesus Christ. So if you go to his clinic, before he attends to you, he spends 5-10 minutes praying with you so that Jesus will show him the way. What did you go to medical school for? You, what did you go to medical school for? Somebody like that is a danger to all his patients. It's a clear danger to all his patients. And does not deserve his certificate as a practicing medical practitioner. As a medical practitioner. He doesn't. Now, Senna, you can't pray.
I can pray myself.
Eh? Do you need any special thing to pray?
I can pray myself.
You can't pray.
So we can all set up clinics, and when we get patients, we will ask Jesus Christ to show us the way. And who told him that Jesus is on telephone with anybody? Who told him that Jesus the Christ is on telephone with anybody, doctor, engineer, whatever? Oh, this is our problem. The other time, when the water level was low, we didn't spill. We gathered pastors, bishops, archbishops to go and pray for the water level to rise. And we prayed and prayed and prayed, and the water level did not rise. Jesus perhaps was asleep at that time. Now the water is too full. And what do? Fortunately, the Akosombo government has not sent pastors there to go and pray for the water level to reduce. Maybe he's so convinced that Jesus will not listen to him because he couldn't finish the cathedral. Maybe he's been finished the cathedral, pastors would have gone there because then God would have been very happy with him. Now God is very angry with him. The cathedral you promised, pastor, nothing. They're happy. So now, we are in trouble. In this country, we are in serious trouble. And the earlier we began thinking about the state in which we are and how to get out of this state, the better. I wasn't in the country. I've come to listen, courtesy Radio Gold, the lecture which was given by Justice Atuguba. And after listening to that lecture, I felt ashamed. I feel so ashamed. He's not like me. He knows the law. Former Supreme Court judge. He's in part of it all the time. Look at his assessment. And you see, unfortunately, it is not just an assessment of the judiciary. I see his lecture as a complete assessment of the Ghanaian situation. And if this is the state in which we are, oh my God, this is our state. What should I say? Because I don't want to say, oh, well, God forbid, because I don't want to say God forbid. But if this is our state, something dramatic needs to happen. Something earth-shaking needs to happen here. Because we are sinking, my brother. We are sinking. We are getting to the lowest of the depths. And if something dramatic does not happen as quickly as possible, something powerful, something earth-shaking does not happen, I don't know what my grandchildren are going to suffer in the near future. I don't know what my great-grandchildren are going to face. This country is in trouble. And that trouble is exemplified by the consequences of the spillage of water from the Akosombo Dam. That's a small mirror of where we are heading. Small mirror which shows us where we are heading. And we are heading towards Armageddon at full speed. We are heading towards Armageddon at full speed. I fear for the future.
Thank you. Thank you very much. The question of what the finance minister was there to do. Two things I noticed. First, he said he brought 2 million Ghana cedis worth of relief items. That is one. The second one was when he said there will be something in the budget for them, that the MPs should help them pass the budget. That was what he came. Those are the two things I took from the things he was saying. So no matter what is in, I am just informing my viewers and listeners. So those are the two things he brought there. But clearly, if you go there, you'll be saddened at the state of the country. Very frankly, you don't see any action. You just see a young MP who has the job of, and he is moving about collecting relief items, and got first sky to prepare grounds to start a rebuilding process, which I don't know how they intend to find the money to fund. Those are the questions you start asking yourself when you go there. But what can we do? As citizens of the country, what we can do is see how we can provide some immediate relief. And Pan-African TV was there on Thursday to make some donations. We intend to go back to do some more. So we are still continuing to raise the funds for that. There's a number we've dedicated to that. That's 0551 521 101. 0551 521101. That's the number you can send a donation to. If you have some items you want us to collect, call that number. If you are sending money, the name you see is Dorcas Frimpong. You can call the same number. If you have some items you want us to collect, we'll turn up and collect it. Thank you very much for your support.
I just came to hear that amongst the items that Pan-African Television gave to the victims, was a lot of water.
Yeah.
Clean water.
Yeah.
And I'm told that that water came from Colma. You know Colma? Wembley, whatever.
Okay.
You know, I mean, I am really amazed. And Coleman is not one of the big names in Ghanaian business. It's not.
Okay.
It's not multi-millionaire and so on. But he tries. He does his best. You understand? And I want to salute him. You know, for the concern that he has shown. I really want to salute him for contributing to the Pan-African effort, Pan-African television effort, to bring some relief to the people in the area. That is not the solution.
No.
Clearly, the solution is not charity.
Not at all.
The solution is that the small brains in the heads of our politicians should be exercised small. That's the solution. If they exercise those small brains in their heads and engage and so on, we'll be able to find solutions to the problem. But in the absence of thinking politicians, this philanthropy helps to ease the plight of the people small. And Coleman, my brother and friend, I really like to salute you for whatever you have done, you know, as your contribution to alleviating the suffering of the people in that area. And you see, he didn't carry his water. He didn't carry his water there to go and take photographs. Quietly, without anybody knowing, he made his mark. That's the spirit.
Yeah, there are so many stories to tell, but we have to move on and we have to talk about. You can see on the screen, we are displaying the number, or we'll keep displaying that number on the screen. Just use the number. It's important. 0551 521101. And yesterday I went there with a team from Radio Gold, and one of the things they said, ask for water. It moves faster than you can think. That you bring water and it's just goes like that, because the people now can't use any other source of water than what you're bringing.
You know Bob Marley's song, in which he sings that in the abundance of water, the fool is still thirsty. Look at so much water which is being spilled. I hear the people are thirsty. What does it take to clean that water for people to drink? So Bob Marley was right. In the abundance of water, the fool is still thirsty.
There's one takeaway though. I salute Honorable Kujeto Ablakwa. Even when the finance minister was there, he still made that point. That's for him as member of parliament for the area. There's one thing he and his colleagues will not compromise on. That whatever may, the VRA must compensate everybody there. Everybody who has suffered must be compensated. At least they can push some more to ensure that there's some resettlement. Some work is done there. It's all important. Well,
there's a problem with that though. I'm sorry I'm interjecting.
No problem.
But there's a problem with that though. When they say that the VRA should compensate the people there, they're asking the people of Ghana to carry the burden of the incompetence of public officers. That's the problem.
I'm glad you brought in public officers.
Yes. For how long should we allow ministers and their deputies and their chief executives and so on, CEOs, to mess up? And when they finish messing up, say, oh, public, come and pick up the bill.
And still take their salaries.
And they still continue to sit there to mismanage.
Anyway. Well, a few messages. This is Hardy in Pig Farm, who joins us, says, all that left in the minds of the MPP ministers and their communicators is confusion and weak toss. Whatever they spew out don't make sense. No wonder they were able to believe that some guinea fowls have flew to Ghana, from Ghana to Burkina Faso. Inshallah, Allah will see the good people of the Volta region through. That is Hardy in Pig Farm. There's Tafain Amra here, who says, I feel sad yesterday. I saw some old men wanted to enter Al-Aqsa Mosque being pushed to the ground. So now the entire one of Al Jazeera, the entire family of one of Al Jazeera's reporters have been killed in Gaza. As if that is not enough, United States Secretary of State called Qatari leaders and asked them to stop Al Jazeera from showing the world the brutalities Israel and American leaders are meting out to Palestinians. What kind of unfair world is this? thank you for that message. There's, of course, this one which says, and I tell Kwesi, my mentor, that in the on 18 October 2023, page 42 of the Daily Graphic, Meteorological Authority said it had issued a series of warnings to the VRA to spill the water from March, but the VRA refused.
All the way from March.
And so Meteorological Authority could not be blamed for, that's the agency could not be blamed for misleading the VRA.
Nobody is accused of misleading the VRA. All I'm saying is that I'm asking questions about what they did. Because they have the capacity to prevent this carnage. That's all.
David Zekwali said he's really loving the angles the guys are hitting on the flood issue. There's also more from those who are sending messages to us. Okay. And I think this one is already emphasizing what was said by, this is actually talk with Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo. That the Ghana Meteorological Service gave the right forecast about the weather right down from May about how the rains will behave. They even predicted that the rainy season might drag into November, and it did. As far as I am concerned, for once, their weather predictions have almost come true. The problems facing us now are engineers who have been sleeping on their job and their failure to assess the volume build-up or total incompetence, which is shameful. Lastly, I entirely disagree with the lady's comment that the MPP does not respect or look down on the people in the Volta region. The problem we have in this country is the current leadership of the MPP is simply incompetent and full of people with inferiority complex. And these are the people Ghanaians should look down on. I'm done. Let's talk with Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo. Well, we have to move on to the discussion since he's hit it right about the new patriotic party and who leads the new patriotic party next. Our president told us that it is left for the next leader to take us out of these difficulties. He concluded by saying he thinks that is the MPP. Well, so we'll look into what they are offering us. With the butterfly out, Alan is out, means there are two main contenders from all the polls that we've seen, including Global Info Analytics. They are giving Dr. Bawumia the lead, the vice president. Then there is, of course, Kennedy Ejapong, who is member of parliament for Asin Central. Those are the two leading candidates they are presenting to the delegates of the MPP to make a choice on. There's also in there Dr. Efria Akoto, who has, in fact, Comrade Pratt is always in talking about that to Paman.
You are interested in that to Paman. You are interested in that to Paman.
And of course, there's one man in there who, from all indications, you cannot tie anything to. As much as Mr. Addo anymore, actually. You cannot tie anything that this government has done or has gone through to Mr. Addo anymore. But his chances of emerging from all polls, from all, looks virtually impossible. Well, but we look at the four candidates. Unfortunately, I have 10 minutes each for you to go through that. And this time around, we'll start with me on what happens because it's a week. Saturday, when we are here, the delegates will be deciding as to who becomes the flag bearer of the new patriotic party. Me?
Well, Sina, for me, I would have said there is no need to discuss these primaries. There is nothing on the plate. Unless I am not listening well. But from what I hear, none of them is offering any alternative to their own mess. I have not heard anything like that. Two, the shine of a competition has already been taken away by the event of the first elections that was conducted and subsequently Mr. Alan Chairmantin falling out. I mean, the entire shine is taken away. Three, the delegates have been given no option but to vote for Bawumia. So this is not a competition. This is not an election. I mean, this is more like inheritance from the father to the son. and he will get the nod and subsequently will fail in 2024. So I don't find, I am surprised they are even going around campaigning, because what are they telling their own people? Have you listened to Dr. Baumia? Well, the one who comes close to Baumia is Honorable Kennedy Japan. Clearly, I mean, people might like him, people might speak well of him, people would say he's a businessman, but he's not cut out for the job. Let's say it as it is. He's not someone who is cut out for the presidency. And their own people know that. Right? No, as for Baumia, I don't consider him. I don't consider him because he cannot speak to the same issues he used to speak about. I don't see myself one day coming here and talking about IT instead of finance or economics. I can't do it. I don't have the capabilities. Probably I have to return to school again and get those capabilities. And that is even me that have a background in IT and IT securities. I would normally not speak to it as if I have an authority on it because I'm not practicing it. But this is a man who was in practice, who was in Bank of Ghana, who offered himself as a solution to our economic challenges. And throughout, he's not been able to speak about the economy. He's not been able to tell us what went on with Bank of Ghana. He's not been able to tell us what went on with our inflation. He's not been able to tell us, even discuss with us, what is happening with our foreign creditors and how it's going to affect us. They are not able to tell us today that with all the pain they took us through in terms of the bond, the restructuring of our debt locally, how we look like. Are we coming up better or we are still in the mess? It is no longer a talking point. So what is he coming to do? What is he coming to tell the people of Ghana? That vote for me and I'll use the bandwidth, the microchips to turn around the economy. Is that what he's coming to tell us? I mean, for him, I don't consider him. He's a complete failure. And nothing will change that assertion. Nothing can change that assertion about him. I believe that they have ruined the entire MPP for decades to come. And nothing will save them. I mean, it's just a course they have to take. And we can only wish them their downfall. For me, I can wish them well.
Thank you. Well, this champ, Smart Based in Accra, who says, hello, Pan-African TV. I was surprised to hear you say the finance minister was in the Volta region to trick the Volta MPs to pass the 2024 budget, that he has something in it for them. Can you imagine this level of dishonest and unbelievable posture? This, as Chimsa Kawa guys take all of us for fools. What has benefited any Ghanaian in the last 7 years, not to talk of Voltarians whom they so much disrespect and look down upon? Thank you for that message. There's also some more that I can read from our WhatsApp platform. This is Ni Mate Harry, who says, how are you? My greetings to all the panel on the show. Please, I'm very disappointed in okay, he has an issue with Mr. Pratt. In Uncle Pratt this morning, he said giving the mattress and food items and water. Okay, please. Continuing maybe lending credence to what you're saying. He didn't say it was wrong, but he said that is what we ordinary Ghanaians can do. The issue he had, and I know he's here, But since I'm also the host, I need to correct you on this. He said the issue he had was with those who were supposed to think beyond carry mattresses. Their job was to solve the problem, then also joining us to carry the mattresses. That is the issue he had problems with, not with taking mattress there. He had an issue with leaders acting like they are powerless and doing nothing about it. So, yes. Well, there's also this one which says, good morning, Senator and the panelists. I think the Akosombo Dam spillage is a headache for us all. The Kata Lagoon, which is the biggest in Ghana, needs to be dredged from Keji, Kata down to Anyangwe and Addo estuary to let all excess water be absorbed by the lagoon. Kwame Nkrumah wanted to use the spillage water from the dam to irrigate the Accra Plain before his government was overthrown. Senna, over the years, what has happened to that important project? Why can't we get back to the drawing board to revisit Kwame Nkrumah's 7-year development plan from Kojo in Teshi? Well,
PENDREAM Teȧses. Now, so far so good. Say open online portal e Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.